I don't want to press charges. I don't want to do anyone. I just wanted to end.
Jimmy, I got court. I still have to do this, so...
Imagine a scenario where the very guardians of justice, the police, make mistakes that shatter lives. Wrongful arrests can occur when innocent individuals are unfairly detained, their rights violated, and their faith in the system undermined. These incidents not only jeopardize the pursuit of truth, but also erode the public's trust in law enforcement. How can we hold law enforcement accountable for wrongful arrests while preserving trust in our justice system? Join us as we delve into the compelling world of when cops make wrongful arrests. Mariah Valenzuela. Sometimes police officers go too far instead of trying to calm down the situation. In many cases, the police officers themselves become the main aggressors. This is exactly what happened to a woman named Mariah Valenzuela in Phoenix, Arizona. On January 16, 2020, when she was 23 years old, she was arrested by Officer Michael McGillis for a false charge of driving under the influence, DUI. The incident was captured on the officer's body camera. It shows that Valenzuela parked her car in a parking lot and got out of it when the officer approached her. The situation became tense when the officer asked Valenzuela for her identification, which she did not provide.
Do you have any ID on you?
Why am I getting pulled over?
A 23-year-old person wanted to know why they were being stopped by the police. They kept asking why, but the officer refused to answer. The officer asked for their identification again, and a few seconds later, things became violent. The officer grabbed the person named Valenzuela and told them to put their hands behind their back. Valenzuela saw that the officer was being aggressive, so they resisted being arrested. However, the officer tackled Valenzuela, causing her face to hit the ground. The much bigger officer put their weight on Valenzuela and put them in handcuffs. Valenzuela kept screaming for help and was crying.
Hands behind your back!
No!
Put your hands behind your back! Stop! Stop! Stop!
They wanted to know why they were being arrested. The officer claimed that Valenzuela didn't show them any identification and was driving in the wrong lane. But Valenzuela later denied these claims. Another officer arrived and Valenzuela was taken to the back of a police car. The 23-year-old suffered severe bruises, injuries to their hand and face, and a bleeding cut on their head. The officers wrote in their report that Valenzuela smelled like alcohol and marijuana. According to the report, Valenzuela admitted to drinking and smoking marijuana and had a medical marijuana card. They were arrested for various charges, including driving under the influence, DUI, and resisting arrest, which is a serious crime. However, Valenzuela's attorney later revealed that their blood alcohol test showed a level of 0.043, which is below the legal limit of 0.08 in their state. All the charges against Valenzuela, including resisting arrest, were eventually dropped. The attorney stated that the police report was inaccurate and Valenzuela's rights were violated. The police department said they take such allegations seriously and thoroughly investigate complaints. They review and document footage from the officer's body cameras during investigations. The incident was reviewed by the Professional Standards Bureau, which found no violations by the police officers. A representative from the Department of Justice and the police spokesperson said that when police officers pull over vehicles, each situation is different, and officers use their training, experience, and judgment to decide what to do when someone refuses to give them the required information. However, ABC 15 investigators looked into some public records and found out that Officer McGillis, who is the most experienced officer in handling cases of driving under the influence, has been internally investigated 12 times since 2014. Around 8 of these investigations were initiated based on complaints from drivers. The complaints against the officer including not showing up for court dates, using inappropriate language, engaging in racial profiling, and using excessive force. As a result, Valenzuela, one of the drivers, has filed a lawsuit against the city of Phoenix and Officer McGillis. Valenzuela's lawyer claims that the officer violated Valenzuela's civil rights and used too much force during the arrest. The lawsuit also criticizes the Phoenix Police Department, alleging that it fosters a culture of allowing officers to use excessive force without facing consequences. So far, there has been no agreement reached between the parties, and the case is still ongoing. Christina West. There was another incident where police officers used violence and went too far. It happened to Christina West in Tallahassee, Florida. On the day of the incident, Christina and 3 exchange students were coming back from a trip when Christina crashed her SUV into an empty house. Luckily, no one was seriously hurt during the crash, but when the police officers arrived, things turned violent. In a video of the scene, Christina was asked to do a test to see if she was drunk. She cooperated and took the test, but then the officers put handcuffs on her and put her in a police car. Her handcuffs slipped off, so the officers told her to get out of the car. Christina was worried about her husband and kids and asked the officers to contact them. When she got out of the car, one of the officers became aggressive. He slammed her head into the car's window and then forced her face onto the ground, causing her pain. While she was crying out in pain, Christina told the officers that she thought her right cheek was broken.
I think you broke my right cheek.
But an officer dismissed her and said it was fine. They put her back in the car and drove away while she was still crying. Later, Christina was charged with driving under the influence, DUI, and assaulting police officers. Her mugshot showed her with a swollen and bruised eye, a bloody nose, and cuts and bruises on her arms and legs. She was taken to the hospital right after being taken to jail. The incident was captured on video and shocked many people when it was shown on the news. The police chief of Tallahassee said it was disturbing to watch and they were investigating the matter. The chief retired shortly after the incident came to light. The state attorney of Florida was also upset after seeing the footage. West and her lawyer filed a lawsuit against the city and the police department, claiming that the officers used too much force and hurt her badly. The lawsuit stated that Christina suffered broken bones, nerve damage, impaired vision, and other painful injuries. A grand jury found that the officers were responsible for Christina's injuries, but they didn't recommend any charges or firing them from the police force. An internal investigation by the department cleared the officers of excessive force allegations. Eventually, the city of Tallahassee agreed to pay Christina $450,000 as a settlement. The 2 officers involved in the incident were disciplined by the department. One received a 40-hour suspension without pay, and the other received a 2-week suspension without pay. Tavon Galanakis. In August 2022, something happened that caused a lot of trouble in the Newton community and led to intense discussions online. A college student named Tavon Galanakis was wrongly accused and arrested. It all started when Officer Nathan Winters pulled him over for using his car's high beam. Galanakis explained that one of his headlights was broken, but the officer didn't pay attention. Instead, the officer started asking Galanakis questions about where he had been and if he had been drinking. Galanakis repeatedly told the officer that he hadn't consumed any alcohol and was willing to take a breathalyzer test to prove it. However, Officer Winters didn't believe him and made Galanakis undergo various sobriety tests, consistently delaying the breathalyzer.
How much have you had to drink tonight?
The police officers claimed that they smelled alcohol on Galanakis, but when they finally gave him the breathalyzer test, it showed that he had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.0, meaning he hadn't been drinking. Nevertheless, they continued questioning him about using marijuana and when he had last smoked it. The officer later said that Galanakis' slow response, his difficulty in his registration, slurred speech, bloodshot and watery eyes, and performance in the field tests gave them enough reason to arrest him. Despite denying the allegations, Galanakis was taken to the police station for drug tests. Eventually, he was cleared of any wrongdoing and allowed to go home. As we conclude this captivating journey through the realm of wrongful arrests, we are reminded of the importance of preserving the delicate balance between security and civil liberties. It is crucial for us as a society to collectively work towards ensuring that justice prevails and that the rights of individuals are respected. Thank you for joining us on this thought-provoking journey. We encourage you to continue exploring, questioning, and demanding justice for all.